Diman Regional Vocational School Committee meeting for September 11th, 2025. Get a roll call.
Mr. Jennings,
Here.
Mr. Deegan, Mr. DiBiaseu,
Here.
Ms. Attorney Flanagan, Mr. Manuel's,
Here.
Ms. Menard.
Yes, sir.
We have a quorum. In accordance to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, any member of the public may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting. A member of the public who wishes to report the meeting must first notify the chair, comply with the reasonable requirements regarding audio or video equipment established by the chair not to interfere with the evidence. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, 1.3, needed a motion to approve the minutes of August 14, 2025, August 22nd, 2025, and August 28th, 2025. So moved. Need a second? All in favor? Aye. Everybody sign up for this.
We can know.
All right. 1.1, unfinished business, FY 26-28 school improvement plan.
They will be coming, Mr. Chairman. Okay, they're still under revision to get it to you.
Okay, thank you. And what about the
They're just they're spreading on the 15th. It's still the same thing. $1,000.
3.1 of the minutes, MSBA, school building committee.
Okay, so the summer work was completed. As you see, if you've driven out toward Lincoln Street, they've reconfigured that area over there, brought the grade up to the height that the new school is going to be at for the front of it into the parking lots. The sidewalks have been complete going down Locust Street towards which will eventually be automotive and the admin. And they put up all signage, one-way signs, and so far, according to superintendent, the assistant superintendent, everything is working fine with the configuration. They have down behind the school, the new school, they have started putting in the 5,000 square foot maintenance building / storage building. And the frame of it is up, and they'll be working to get that finished over the next month. The school itself, as you see the exterior, in the front is the glass is almost complete. Window testing is ongoing to make sure everything is correct. And the first main floor, sheetrock is going up. There's even whiteboards in the rooms already. Flooring is going in. The culinary had their floors all redone already, and they've got paper over it to one of the floors. And more equipment's coming in this week for culinary. The rest of the school is moving along. HVAC is working, electrical, all working together. There's approximately 200 people on site every day. They're doing a great job. Just to show this committee every Friday how we meet, and the agenda board goes on and on and on, and it's impressive to see our management company, our architect, and our builder all working together. This goal of getting this job complete and on time, and we are on time, and we are on budget. They did, Helena put in your packet today, what we had building committee meeting the other day, but it's just some schematics of the school and what they've been doing. And on the back is the financial end of the school. If we want to take a look at how the money is being spent, and it shows you where. Anybody have any questions on it? Brian, you have anything to add?
No. Most say that financially, we're in pretty decent shape,
Yes, we are.
which is good to hear. And they've been very good, as in the loop. Well, I'll give some confidence to Charlie Roberts, who's really watching the PTO, making sure we're not overexpending, that we're getting our money's worth. So really, we're in good shape.
Right. The superintendent and I are lucky enough to keep seeing the emails that go back and forth, and between Charlie and our architects, they're keeping the bills in order. They're not just signing off on everything that gets submitted. They do check and double check everything that's happening. And
Been good?
Yeah.
I saw the email about the 50%. Who's doing that?
50%.
Completion, there has to be paperwork sent as far as.
We'll be doing that.
They'll be-
That's our OPM.
Yeah, Colliers does that. And they were asked that, and they are working on that. And they have already spoken to Jen up at MSBA, and now she's aware that they're going to get it to her. So,
Because I saw there was a time.
yeah, there was a time, and they've asked for an extension of the time.
They did.
So they got the time to get that paperwork up to them. But that's on the OPM to get it done, not the superintendent.
Okay.
Right.
That's why we're paying them.
That's why we're paying.
Yeah, but it doesn't always happen.
Regional.
Okay, on the change order PCCO number 009. Want to talk about that?
The BCCO 9, $79,302.36. If you look at the Suffolk paperwork that's in front of you, it gives you a list of the out of scope work that they have done. Some of the work was used as goals. And some of it was put into, was paid, the 79,000 is coming out of.
I just wanted, because we were at the meeting, but.
Yeah, everybody else was, that's correct. So that if you look at this, it just explains it's simple things like casework and a couple of the pipes or glass that had to be moved or added, beakers, etc. So as they go along, like our house building committee, they find things that they want added or missed.
We need a vote on that. Recommendation is to reaffirm PCCO number 009 for a total amount of 79,302.36. In a motion.
So moved.
A second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? So we have the MSBA project expenditures.
So we have the following 4 invoices. The first one is Colliers for $142,115.58. The second one is for KVA for $115,537. The third one is for Suffolk, which is $10,232,098.75. And the final one is Yankee Engineering for $6,875.
Recommendation is to approve the MSBA project expenditure. Need a motion, then go second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to B, personnel, Mr. Bentley.
For the committee's information, there are a number of appointments. Most of these are left over from summer coming into the school year. Nothing new in there. The newest one I'll point out is our new LPN instructor, Sarah Darrow. I went down to the LPN building the other day, and she's getting into it. It's a good group down there. The mentors that you see in front of you, those are the mentors that are required for the teachers who were new and are now into their first and second year of teaching. And they do need them to kind of still tell them what to do and how to get there. We have resignations from Derek Cavallo, who was one of our plumbing instructors. He has retired effective September 19th. We've also received 2 retirements from faculty members. First one is Stephen Camara from the facilities program, effective December 1st, 2026. And Floriano Lima, also from facilities maintenance management, also December 1st, 2026. And that's really
committee's information. I don't know if you have any questions.
Just the plumbing truck with the.
Yes, I know it was advertised.
It's advertised and we actually had at least three qualified applicants on.
Two are journeyman. One master.
So we've got some decent. Steve Radham, who's the department head, and Jen, who is our vocational coordinator. They are all over this. They're setting up interviews with hopefully recommendations to Mrs. Wackerson very soon.
Yeah, very good. Because I know a couple of years ago we had an issue with the plumbing trying to.
I will say, I'll give some credit to Mr. Bradham when I did tell him about Derek resigning. He contacted a few of his people that he knew, and he got some very qualified people. And we've had a couple more come in, so there's a pool out there for us.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Very good. Okay, B, personnel is ended.
We have advisory appointments, which does need school committee action. Alexandria Jordan Texera, Automotive Technology. Ms. Jordan is a class of 2015 graduate, parent of a current student, went to nursing school, obtained an LPN license. Mrs. Jordan Texera is currently working as a visiting nurse. She would like to become a member of Automotive Technology. Madison Medeiros, Business Technology, is a current student in the program, and she hopes to bring a student's voice to the advisory board. And Shaylin Wochick, Automotive Collision. She's a graduate from the Auto Collision program. She's been working at Carl Collision in the trade for 4 years. She is currently an Auto Collision technician. The recommendation is to appoint the three members, Alexandria Jordan Texera, Madison Medeiros, and Shaylin Wochick, to identify the advisory board for a program term of 3 years to the program.
Need a motion? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Individual employment. So we'll come back to that. We have student travel.
Yes, Mr. Baker, there was a cricket.
Right.
I thought I was hearing things in my head.
It's not good.
I think somebody left the door open the other day and one managed to hop in here. Won't mention his name. Warm house and trying it.
It was like pointing at me. I did.
No, I said it was like this, Greg. No, I didn't.
No, I did that.
It's always the lawyer's fault.
No. Oh, why you get crickets, right? No, I don't know. It was all me. Guilty as charged.
I didn't know I did. That's why.
All right, on the student travel, was that
Yes, we do have a request in from Mr. Francoeur, cross-country coach, has submitted an after-hours travel request for students to go to Marathon Sports, Mansfield, Mass, September the 28th from 5 to 7 for the Running Shoe Partnership. And the recommendation is to approve this after-hours student travel request submitted by Mr. Francoeur, cross-country coach, for students to go to Marathon Sports in Mansfield on September the 28th from 5 to 7.
Need a motion? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Next is Ms. Cochran and Ms. Goddard, senior class advisors, have submitted an out-of-state and after-hours student travel request for students to attend the senior prom on May the 28th, 2026 from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. in Providence, Rhode Island. The recommendation is to approve this out-of-state and after-hours request submitted by the advisors, Ms. Cochran and Ms. Goddard, for the senior prom on May 28th, 2026 from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. in Providence, Rhode Island.
Need a motion? So moved. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Where's it
And
going to be held?
it's built on, isn't it? We haven't had it there in a little while. Beautiful place downtown.
Probably should have waited 4 more years for the bridge to be built, but
No.
I think it's going to be built in a few years. Yeah. Multiple will be built. Please.
And the last request comes in from Mr. Chase, who's the International Club Advisor. He has submitted a international student travel request for students to participate in the international field trip to Japan at the end of the 26-27 school year and returning from June 30th, 2027. So he's a year in advance.
Need a motion?
Is to move this.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Where are we going into now?
Various places, there is a travel packet that's in your, in this, it looks like.
Oh, I lived there for.
Did you, I would not be telling you the truth if I said I know exactly where. Yeah.
I don't even know what.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when it's, go as a share phone.
Okay, moving on to E, use of facilities.
And for the use of facilities, we do have a request from Mr. John Rivers of the Alumni Association. He submitted a request to use room 251 on Thursday, October 2nd and November 6th, 2025, 6 to 7:30 for a meeting and to waive all the use of the fees and facility fees rather to that.
Need a motion to,
So moved.
need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And we received a request from Brian Jacob, the Director of the Water Maintenance for the City of Fall River. He submitted a use of facilities request to use our parking lot right on the side of their facility here for the interlocking walk-in tour on October the 25th, 2025, from 9 to 1 p.m. And the recommendation is to approve the use of the facilities and to waive all facilities fees.
Need a motion to approve? Need a second?
And Brian, that's not a problem for you.
Oh, no, they've been good neighbors with us.
Yeah.
All they want to do is that their facility can't hold the number of people they're expecting. So it's just to come into our student parking lot, park there, and then walk next door.
And that's on the weekend.
What's that?
It's on the weekend.
Yeah, and it's
So it's
not,
not-
Yeah, so it's not gonna affect the
that's true.
Okay.
Mine is-
I was worried
Yeah.
about kids.
That's the only thing, let them know that we do Saturday work, so we do have contractors going back and forth. So
I think they see them there. And he's pretty alert.
So
Yeah.
He's been good working
well,
with
we have to let our team know as well.
All right, I have a motion. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And for the committee's information, the Diamond PTO canceled their car show fundraiser, which was scheduled for this last Saturday, the 25th. And that was due to multiple car shows in the area. This wasn't.
There's only so many plastic cars anyway.
It does draw a crowd, but if you're the only one in town, it's good.
Yeah.
But they were the only one in town and would not have been worth it for them. That's funny.
The top plan and reschedule at this.
They may, but right now they don't have a date.
All right, accepting the gift.
We have several in here. Diamond Bengal Education Foundation in conjunction with Bay 5, Bay Coast, AA Precision, South Coast. They donated $6,000 to the carpentry and cabinet making program for the implementation of a roofing curriculum. The funds are to be used to purchase roofing tools, harnesses, roof materials, curriculum support, etc. And the recommendation is to accept that $6,000 donation from the Diamond Bengal Education Foundation.
Need a motion to accept. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Very nice.
It is, and they've received some more money today, but we're not ready to report out on it yet. So, Bay State Financial has donated $1,000 to fund the cost of the breakfast and lunch for new staff that was held on August the 25th. And the recommendation is to accept that $1,000 donation made by Bay State Financial that funded the cost of the breakfast and the lunch for the new staff on August 25th.
Need a motion to accept. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Castle Blues donated $1,500 to be used to purchase a city pass for participants at last year's Skills USA competition. Reporting it out now because the check just came in.
He kept saying it's coming.
Yeah, he did, but it was, and the recommendation is to accept that $1,500 donation made by Castle Blues to go towards the purchase of the city pass for participants in Skills USA Nationals.
Need a motion to
So
accept.
moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Suffolk Construction Company in competition here with Castle Blues. They donated $1,500 for the athletics golf tournament fundraiser. And the recommendation is to accept that $1,500 donation that was made by Suffolk for the athletics golf tournament fundraiser.
Need a motion to accept. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I want to come in, I'll just stop before the next one as a side there. I want to come in Castle Blues and Suffolk, as I'm the one that's been asking them that while they're working, would they be willing to fund some of this that's going on here? They've been good partners with us, keeping us, they have a loop in that. So they've been working well with us. MEMA, Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, has offered to donate gloves and bouffant caps for the dental and the medical programs. And the recommendation, I do not know the value of that, but the recommendation is to approve the donation of gloves and bouffant caps for dental and medical.
Need a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Gee, we have a request from the assistant advisor.
Yes, the DECA organization here has grown significantly. Already this year, Mr. Machado did approach me and indicate that there's over 50 participants right out of the gate. That is above the threshold that is in the teacher's contract of 20. They can request an additional advisor. So Mr. Machado, the DECA advisor, has requested an assistant due to the large number of students. The assistant will be paid a stipend of 75% of the DECA advisor's stipend. And that is what was done for last year, and is keeping consistent.
All right, so I was just gonna say, didn't we appoint somebody last year?
We did, and the same gentleman, same teacher has applied this year too,
Okay.
and it was posted. So the recommendation is to approve the request for the DECA assistant advisor.
Need a motion to approve. Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Monthly financial report.
Ms. Petrosa.
So, on the school CTE report, there's really not much to report out because we're still at the beginning of the school year and still spending. We will note that the external maintenance account, the 4,300 will be funded once the end of year report is finalized and we calculate our carryover number. And then as far as the student activities, I did look into the school store, and I'll continue looking, but I do have. I went through to figure out what our revenue sources are, and from the general fund over. It's been about $36,486 that we returned back to the general fund, whether it was for some athletic gear, freshman shirts is a big one, OBS jackets, student uniforms, some Skills USA, and then some smaller general fund. We'll be working with Desley as far as looking at the cost of what we're charging, because if you look at the outside sales of $312,000 and just the apparel purchase itself to stock it is only $212,000. So I'm not sure. Either it's worth taking in so much money, or we need to look at what we should be charging back to the school store and having them pick up.
Are we charging? I mean, I don't know what we're charging. But are they?
They're pretty
reasonable. I don't want to overcharge kids,
exactly,
obviously,
absolutely.
but I want to be able to, if we makes a little bit of profit to put into two other things, I think that's advantageous.
And I know that a lot of the purchases are where it says other student activities. Those student activities such as dental or cheerleading, they've done the fundraising themselves. And that's what the funds were used for. So they pay that out of their student activity fund. So I'm not quite sure if there was something else that you would be looking to have taken out of the school store, but some of it is coaches wear, and but I definitely think the freshman shirts and OBS jackets and student uniforms should be picked up by the school store and not by the general fund, because that was what you were thinking, I believe, last time we spoke.
Right.
Yeah. So that will start in this fiscal year. So anything for freshman shirts will just stay as a charge back to the student school store.
And how about extra stuff that they buy off catalog for the internet? People want stuff.
So that would be part of that, the outside sales. So that includes whether they came into the store and they purchased something, or if they just went ahead and ordered online, it's that PayPal, payments and stuff like that.
All right. Any questions or comments? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Staying with you, some expenditures you have.
Okay.
Looks like
the
control.
previous expenditure that was already approved. So the Excel learning
Yeah.
for the sped,
Yeah,
the
sped
sped grant, it was $13,912.50.
Okay, recommendation to reaffirm the expenditure that exceeded $10,000 as submitted. Need a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And four more.
Yes, so we have Roy Consulting for $75,000 for sped services. We have Community Connections for $25,000 for sped services. Wallaca and Sons for $13,860 for an annual storage fee. And Bristol County Rehabilitation Services for $12,000 for sped services.
Good.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, on the storage, the annual storage, that's for everything from the new school.
Yes. So but this is the 5 welding booths, the 4 exam tables, and the 10 smith.
We can get to the point where we waited and want the stuff. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for storage.
Yeah, I mean, this was stuff that was all purchased last year.
Last year, I know.
But we didn't have the room here, or it wasn't feasible to install it here and then move it.
I know there was an increase because it used to be 11,000 change. It's gone up to 13.
Because we had more purchases, so yes.
But I think some of the stuff was being purchased through some grants that were expiring.
Yes.
That's me last June 30th.
Correct.
That's why we had lines for the skills schools.
Yeah.
That's why we had the money at the time. That's why these kids, if not, we're gonna lose it.
Exactly. We purchased it. So it is a price to pay for the storage, but in the general scheme of things, for the amount of money that we spend buying the equipment, it's well worth it to hold it in place. No one gets secure.
Yeah.
We didn't have a place to put it. Wish we did.
Okay, recommendation to approve the expenditures that exceeded $10,000. So need a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, we already approved the MSBA. Okay, program data review.
So on the vocational program there, you'll turn that on to Diman. Quite extensive, very good information. So maybe kind of the snapshot of the book.
Mhm. So what you have in front of you is a double-sided sheet for each one of the programs. One side is the same on all of them. That gives you an overview for all the programs in one little snapshot. The back side gives you the specific data for each one of the programs, specific to grade 9 picks for last year and 2 previous years. The enrollment for grade 9, so the number of students that each program took in. The total enrollment for each program, grades 9 through 12. And then you have different IRCs, which are the industry recognized credentials. And then we also have the numbers for co-op. At the bottom, you see the incoming freshman number. That was the data that Lynn presented to us at the last meeting. Kids coming in, what were their interests? So we gave this to the instructors to give them a little insight as to who's looking at their program and is excited by it, and how we keep their attention at the end of the exploratory rotations. We hope to keep this going forward and then slowly start adding some data to it so that everybody's aware of what the programs are doing. The programs themselves can then readjust their curriculum if they see numbers moving one way or another, and just stay aligned with our frameworks. Oh yeah, and then we're also asking them to give us 2+2s, which is 2 things they're doing really, really well, and a couple things that they can do better at. As we move forward and start building that entire review process with our advisory committee next month, and we'll report that out with you guys next month.
Nice. Very good.
What I particularly liked, Leslie, kind of spearheaded this big Jen, was to go 3 years worth of data. You know, every year we get 1 report, and that's how we did this year. And the question comes up, well, what did we do last year? Well, we took it a step further. What did we do the year before? So this is giving us a 3-year trend of what you're looking at. And it's an interesting snapshot into the minds of the students when they come in here of what they're thinking about and what they choose or they're placed into.
Another question. Regarding automotive technology, I noticed you're only looking at statements and out on.
I can't remember.
For automotive technology, it appears to be 10 out on co-op. It seems low to me for that type of an industry. Do we not have enough businesses out there that are taking part in this program with us?
You will notice at the bottom, she included that working with Joe Masterson. It was included, and that's part of the discussion with the advisory and on the agenda is what additional co-op placements should we be tapping into, from each industry. And I think we want to get a little more transparent on, say, who our current co-op partners are Because you may, as committee members, be going to get your car service somewhere and be like, hey, I noticed that you don't have any Diamond co-op students out there. That's part of Joe Assistant's campaign too, of having that sheet, because a lot of people getting the word out on co-op as they have labor shortages.
Right. I just want to make sure we have ample opportunity for these students to be able to get out there and experience it.
Absolutely.
The biggest thing that we've always been told, and I've asked different shop teachers when I come on the advisory nights, is they want more students to go out, but they don't have transportation.
That is, yeah,
Transportation
that was
the one
brought to the
reason.
table today as well.
That's the number one reason.
And we are
why.
definitely entertaining some ideas to help facilitate that for some of the kids. We just started the conversations this morning, actually.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well done.
Very good report. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Go to Cave. Landscape analysis report.
So this is going to be Mrs. Whitehead will report out on this, but the landscape analysis basically is a snapshot from our academic side of the house on how we're doing, what we do better, and what we need to improve. Mrs. Whitehead.
Yeah, so, you know, you may have gotten some of the emails for instructional coaching, you know, and really to take a deep dive. In this, in essence, is we do our academics well, but we know that we are going to have a changing landscape moving forward with the lottery admissions potentially. So really to take a look at not just where our general ed kids and our lower populations are doing, but those kids that are in the middle that might not be getting challenged enough and being pushed up and forward. So in here, working with the consultant to do a deep dive of instructional practices, our curriculum review, our data and assessment. This is why looking at the 3 years side by side is so important, is you will see, and this is mentioned in the school improvement plan, hence another reason why it's still an unfinished business, is I want the staff to be part of the solution, to look at the 3-year trends and data and really identify it's not just someone making a determination that this is good and this needs improvement. So there are recommendations in here for each one that are also aligned with our school improvement. So the instructional coaching, I am very happy to say that when we put it out for the first round, we had 7 teachers volunteer. Now that's non-evaluatory. That is really to go in, watch a lesson, and identify missed opportunities to really get, you know, to either push some of our kids that aren't engaged, to get them engaged, and or opportunities to pull our students up. So it's really going to give us some thoughtful data in detail, working with an outside consultant with the faculty on areas that they can improve. And I'm all for it. Like I said before, that, you know, as we're expecting more out of our instructors, it's our responsibility as an administrative team to give them the support that they need to do it. So.
Very good. Any questions or comments? All right, moving on to House Building Subcommittee report, Mr. DiBiasio.
So the first phase of it is the community projects. And I'm going to turn it over to Jen because she's been doing a great job going through this list, meeting with your department heads. And one of the big things that she's done, you notice it's a little bigger, is from now on with any shop, whether it's graphic arts, for example, it's doing up invitations for something, or culinary cooking something for something that was ordered, not on a day-to-day basis, but on something that's a big. Will be in this now, so we know what all the shops are doing for the public. Okay, Jen.
Yeah, so this list now is, again, like I said earlier, this is a work in progress. It will be updated bi-weekly with a meeting of all the teacher leaders that are part of these outside crews. Consistent updates, you'll be furnished with them regularly. As things get brought to the table, they'll be added to the list, they'll be discussed, making sure it's something that's good for our curriculum and for our students' learning, and not too big a scope of a project for our students to complete. And yes, all programs will be required to add something to it. We have 2, I just got another one today for programming and web. Somebody's asking us to build a website for them. So that stuff will get added consistently, discussed, decided whether or not it's good for our students and our programs, and then we'll move forward, or we will, then on the project. And that's pretty much the purpose of this. And the biggest piece in all this is that there will be consistent meetings with all the people involved in these projects, so that this list can stay current and valuable for all of us.
Good. Any questions, comments? And Mr. Chairman, the second part is you all said our students were building this year in Westport. Is Jeff still on? And he put it down.
No, he went to the.
He went to dinner. So Jeff is starting the process of with the new home. He's been with the family, the husband and wife that are building this, and they've added some extras on that he's still working with several things like we all do when we're building out. Extra sockets here, put up what's up here, other railing here, etc. But he's hoping to be out there regularly with the students. He has about 20 students out there, and hope the progress keeps moving. Then you have anything to add? You talk to Jeff.
No, just that the changes that have been put before them are pretty minor and not really going to interrupt their timeline or their number one.
The only thing that Jeff had said is about the plumbing for downstairs bathroom. We got caught one time not finishing a project because it went from just roughing it, even putting in the bathroom, putting in the kitchen, and it kind of got us. We got out of hand with it where the project didn't get done. So we just want to make sure that we did not add anything in the basement to begin with. Roughing, I can totally understand that. We're down there doing the plumbing anyways. But as long as we don't get carried away and start framing in walls and putting it in the bathroom.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that
We'll definitely keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Anybody? That's it.
All right, moving on to M, the admission subcommittee report. I'm on Tim Silver. Griffin, you want to explain about the admissions?
Sure. So we are being directed by the state of Massachusetts with the rest of the vocational schools to turn over to a lottery system. So we have two choices with the lottery system. The first choice is an unweighted lottery, which would be you apply, you essentially get one bingo ball in the pool of candidates. The other option is a weighted lottery. And with the weighted lottery, there is eligibility for the students to obtain up to 4 bingo balls, depending if they meet or put forth the effort to complete all 4 criteria. So myself, Mrs. Wenkesser, and Mr. Bentley sat down and we decided that the best way for Diamond to go would be toward the weighted lottery. We feel that it has the most stake in the game as far as getting high quality applicants at the school. So with the weighted lottery, the 4 criteria are, the first one is the application. The application has a piece of it called awareness. So in the application under the awareness section, there will be 4 events here. So there's going to be a virtual tour that will happen online, an online information session, the open house, and a tour where all middle school students during the school day will have the opportunity to be bussed over at our expense as directed by the state to go on a tour. So during those 4 awareness events, we will have to collect their information. We'll have to collect their information and match it to their application. So if they don't participate in an awareness event, their application will be incomplete and they won't be considered for admission. So that is number 1. Number 2 is attendance. If a student has 27 absences or less, they'll be eligible for a second bingo ball. The third one is for conduct. So if a student doesn't have a 37H or a 37H.5 only on school property, he'll be considered for a third bingo ball. And the 4th bingo ball is if they have interest. So that will include either a personal essay or a letter of recommendation for a family from a counselor or non-family member.
What was the last piece again?
So the last piece is student demonstrating interest to the school. So we're asking them either to submit a personal essay or a letter of recommendation from a non-family member. So it can be from a counselor, a teacher, a neighbor. Maybe they have like a volunteer experience that they can get. Yeah.
We had something like that going back a few years ago. Our admission.
Remember the recommendation? Yeah, we had the recommendation, but we took it out because some kids, they said it was 2 or 3 and kids were getting into losing points because of that. And we just got rid of it because it just wasn't.
So this won't be scored. It will simply be
It's totally different.
Just give you another ball.
another bingo ball. So that's the main change at this point as far as the application process. For the selection process, what that's going to look like is it will be a televised lottery. So it will happen in March. We will give 7 days notice. It is a third-party vendor that does the lottery. So essentially a button will be pressed and then it will pre-populate all of the students' numbers. It will still be by town. So it'll be 4 separate lotteries that are going to happen. And then our application window, we're hoping if you guys approve this today, it'll be September 15th through January 1st. And then the lottery will take place in March. Any student who applies after January 1st will be considered a late applicant. And there'll be 4 pools by town for late applications. That will be a separate lottery in June, and they will be tacked on to the bottom of the wait list for their respected towns. The good news to this is there was talks to be a lottery for exploratory, and we don't have to go that route at this point. So the exploratory is going to remain the same with the same rubric and the same exploratory process.
No, you're on.
So just to clarify, for a person to have every opportunity within the lottery, they have to fill out their application, attend one of these forums that we have. They have to have 27 or less absentee absences in pretty much the last year, in 7th grade, essentially,
Yes.
or up until their application is submitted.
Yeah.
They can't have attacked anybody with a knife on school grounds.
Yes.
And they have to submit a letter of intent or an essay or something like that. And they will have every opportunity.
We'll have 4
They'll have 4 shots.
So this is the maximum amount of criteria that has been directed by the state. So we are going for the maximum to hopefully get the highest quality of interested candidates here.
Mr. Chairman, I have 2 questions. The first one is, I've been to several over the years of the middle school talks when we go to meet with the schools. One of the things I'd like to see put into that bell, if you want, is about our discipline, probably about some of our policies on clothing and phones and hats and all that. I think if we tell these students what they're in for, as far as our rules, I think it might help in some of that process that we're talking about. The other thing is with charter schools, which is also run by the state, they have a sibling rule. And I'm wondering if we can check with the state why they did introduce that with this lottery, because they do that with the charter schools, that if you have a sibling in the school, or the other sibling automatically gets in the school. So that'd be a question to ask the state why that wasn't introduced in it.
I'm going to assume something, Mr. DiBiasio, because this entire system was developed just for vocational schools.
Oh, I know, but it was vocational agricultural, because they bring it to.
Okay.
So
it's I'm assuming they're not going to budge from it.
right, I understand that, but I think the sibling rule, which has been a question that's been asked from me, that they have a sibling in the school that's a junior this year, and next year they have a sibling that's coming in, and they want to know if the sibling automatically gets in like they would at the charter school, because some of these kids are coming from the charter schools. So that was the rule there. So why they wouldn't have included that in the Um,
What are you gonna ask?
listen, I don't know, we'd have to ask Joe Menard.
Should have been a lot, an extra opportunity, an extra bingo ball.
But I think that's something that we should look into and look, I would imagine that the other vocational schools and agricultural schools are saying, having the same issues with family members.
I think a lot of people are having a lot of issues with.
Well, I think we're all having issues with it, but I mean, it's something that has to happen.
That'd be an interesting question, but I understand. Yeah.
Elizabeth Bennett seems to be one of the spokesperson that's giving us the information on this. She out of her office. So that might be an avenue that we can consider just simple.
Something to ask, because I think if they think about it, it's probably a practical thing that a parent would want their kids at the same school. You know what I mean? So that's just a question to ask. And then, but the other thing, when we go to the middle schools, I think outside of showing how all the wonderful shops and the academics and what we offer here, that should be part of the presentation this year, and also on our policies.
So I do have to let you know that we are no longer allowed to reach out to the middle schools to schedule visits to go. So they have to reach out to us, and they have to provide the Department of Education with their plan and how they're gonna promote and roadmap vocational education for the future. So unfortunately, this year we have had just one school so far reach out to us to ask us to come for a presentation.
So they have to ask us.
They have to.
Under the law, the middle schools have to develop a career pathway, highlighting career and technical education that is available to their students. They have to submit it to the department by November the 1st. But it is them developing it on how they're going to do it. No longer is it us saying to you, you're welcome to visit us.
So I am inviting the counselors in for a breakfast on November the 3rd to review the hopefully new admissions policy. So during that breakfast, I can let them know. This way there'll be no paper trail if they'd like to come, or if they'd like us to.
I wonder if they all know.
We don't call them no more, they call us.
Curiosity, what was the school that actually reached out to us?
I can't remember. They reached out back in August. It was a Fall River school, though.
Yeah.
It was one of the smaller schools.
Wow.
Was it Henry Ward? Is that one of the smaller ones?
Well, Henry Lord is a K through.
No, Henry Love is a junior high.
Junior
It
high.
was Henry Ward.
And Roger Junior High.
Henry Lord went K through 8.
Well, they call it middle school.
Yeah, Henry Lord went K through 8.
It was a small one.
They went K through 8 because that was.
It used to be, that's what it's built for.
We did review when we did go out last year, though. We went over the attendance policy here, the clothing, all of the rules, the vocational safety, the premises around a lot of the safety rules as far as the clothing. So it is part of the presentation, but we can also reinforce everything that you just said when we do the virtual tour online, the information session, the open house, and when we offer them the opportunity to come in for the tours. So it's another thing. We're responsible to offer the opportunity for all middle school students to come in for a tour during the middle school day, but we do have to absorb the cost on the transportation.
So kids will be signing up just to get a day out of school
I hope not.
on our expense.
What did you say?
So they'll be signing up just to get a day out of school to come here.
Why not?
Any other questions or comments on the admission? All right, hearing none. The recommendation is to accept the recommendation of the admission subcommittee pertaining to the admissions policy. The subcommittee voted in favor of the weighted motion. In a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Me, I oppose.
You oppose?
Only because of the criteria you gave, it doesn't make sense. If it was based on their attendance and their grades, and like we had before, I would understand giving the extra balls, but giving the extra balls for 27 days after the loss.
Which like, if we don't do that, or it's wide open.
We don't have a choice. We did not set, and this has been the argument very vociferously. We did not set these criteria.
I know we did. I know it's set by the
They
state.
were set by the state, and they were said, this is what it is. And if you don't take this, then it's a wide open one. You go for it.
Yeah, so if we don't adopt the or
We could
criteria.
put the other one.
It's just an application. You don't even have to put the awareness on the application. The application can literally just be name, address, bingo
You
ball.
could have 50 absences in your seventh grade. You still have the opportunities like everyone else.
And I think, wait a minute, I think it's just to get the extra ball. You still have 50 absences that apply.
Yeah, as long as you
Just
complete,
don't
you
have-
have to complete the application.
Yeah.
And attend one of those forums to be able to get that single, that's the initial bingo ball.
Yes,
Yep.
so the forum is the extra thing on the initial bingo ball, because you can have the application without the awareness piece on it if you would like.
I thought that was part of the application that they had to attend an awareness.
You don't have to have that on the application. So that was one of the things that the state said that you could add on to the
So they just have to submit an application to get a bingo ball.
Non-weighted.
non-weighted.
Oh, non-weighted. I'm saying for the weighted.
For the
We
weighted.
have that.
They have things they have.
We have that. Okay, yeah, I believe it's a little extra. It's a little bit extra to have the students show their interest in attending here.
And a short window.
Exactly.
So-
Shorter window.
We should.
Put that in place.
Sorry, guys.
No,
It's not your fault.
It would be interesting to have a report of who did all four things to get as many and break it down to see how many people actually wanted to come. Like, really.
That's definitely something that we can do.
Yeah.
You're good with those chops.
I'll make you check.
It's also important for the students, for the kids, to understand what's required of them. Telling them this stuff.
It should come from the counselors at the school. It should come from the parents. And we are going to broadcast it widely with social media and different kinds of releases that will be out there, because we're going to make sure every effort is made that whoever wants to apply will get in there, will apply. And opening on September 15th, which is just a couple of weeks, next week. So it's going to start. And it's a short window. So if I'm interested in coming to Diamond and I'm in 8th grade, I'm waiting for September 15th. I'm opening that window and I'm going to get in there.
You know, there's no guarantee that the school system, that the people in the school system are going to perhaps understand all this and make sure they convey this to the kids.
We
I
have
don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make it happen.
So, yeah, I can talk about what we've done preemptively is we're using a new parent communication tool that also drags to our social media as well, because most of our parents and our students are gathering the information from social media. So we've been doing infographics about our attendance policies. We've got one, a real cute one about our dress code, right? And they're very kid friendly, but again, heightening some of those things that we're really strict on, so that we're pumping that information out. So the word is already getting out that this is what happens when you're at Diamond. But we're doing it in a kid friendly. If you go back, for those of you that have social media and you see some of those posts, it looks like a little infographic, almost like a cartoon. There's one with, kid's got a big gold chain and his ID on, like this is part of your uniform every day. And we've done another one on attendance and how your credit will get blocked if you have a certain amount of attendance issues. So we've been putting out little drips so that the word is getting out, and hopefully that'll carry us.
Will there be something listed on the application of our rules and guidelines?
I think we could probably ask go to CTE to put a drop of our student handbook in there. That's not a bad idea.
That's a great
They can
idea.
see what they're getting into while they're,
Mhm.
and in fact, maybe even if you clicked on the link, you can't get to the application until you view the student handbook. Is that possible?
It's 485 pages.
Well, you don't have to view it, just.
Yeah. Just like anybody else goes, like, where do I check?
Let me see. Have you read the user agreement?
Check. You find out you can't sue Disney.
And then
Anyway, it is, on one hand, it's very upsetting because it changes the way we do business. On the other hand, we're trying our best to keep our standard so that at least there's something that we can say, told you was going to be this. And we're looking forward to see what we.
All right, thank you. Next is the superintendent director's report.
Very quickly, but I do also want to let you know that you should have this paper also at your, in front of you. I'll be making reference to it. So just to go through it very quickly, opening day of school, August the 27th, enrollment was 1,487 students. You can see the breakdown, next page of where they came from. That number 1487 has dropped since opening day. Some students have definitely transferred. But we are keeping the numbers as consistent with what the committee has said about B85 in the freshman year and so on and so on. Our opening day very encouraging. High number. Next is the admissions report. As far as the admission, we had class of 29 was greeted in the auditorium on August 27th. I'm happy to report out that everything being in place, well organized, that everybody was in place by 8:15. So within a half hour of starting the school day, everybody, except our seniors, they had to get a picture taken. Everybody was up and the day was running. I have to say the entire team of administrators was exceptionally helpful in making sure that everything was smooth, everybody was in place, questions were being answered, and this included serving a lunch. So was it hectic? It was the opening of school. It's great. We did have a parent orientation night, which was held on September 3rd in the school auditorium. Well attended. A lot of questions asked about our procedures and policies here at Diman. The administrative staff was present. They answered questions that were asked. And interestingly, some of the conversation that night turned towards the lottery system, which these parents were concerned about. Didn't affect their son or daughter, but they were asking, as you said, Mr. DiBiasio, about maybe another son or daughter they have, what's going to happen to them. They didn't even get by lottery. Cooperative education, you do see the chart that's there. This was effective very much around toward the opening of school. The numbers are going to increase. I want to let you know that on this paper, before I get to LPN, this gives you the current placement of students of where they are. Now, this is only grades 10, 11, and 12. Grade 9, everybody's in exploratory. But to show you the size of our programs, where they are by A week and B week, you can see it's pretty mirrored as far as the numbers are consistent, but it lets you know where our students are as of today, where they were. LPN program, I did go down there just this week. You do have 35 students enrolled in a full-time daytime program with the numbers I can see broken down. 22 in district, 12 out of district, 1 out of state. And they are at full capacity down there for what we wanted for this year, which does bring me to suggest to Mr. Bagan that I'm looking at it. I would like to have it. We can schedule an LPN subcommittee report and subcommittee meeting rather, because there are decisions to make. And one of the decisions is, do we stay here we are? And at what cost? The lease is up this year. And they need to be notified by December, 6 months in advance. There has to be notification given to the management as to what are we doing? What is Diman Technical Institute going to do? And that's an important decision.
And that full-time day program graduates June.
And talking with the director, Lisa, who is there, she says that there's not a day that goes by without getting more calls. It was her feeling when I visited on Tuesday of this week that they could sustain a full complement of 50 students. And they have a full complement of teachers right now that are all heavily involved into it. So I know their preference of what they're saying, but in reality, we do have to look at the finances of what the program is. And she knows that, as I have been saying that to her. We have to do some investigation on our side. Lease, what's it going to cost if we stay? Is there another place to go? Is there a less expensive place to put the program, the full-time program? But these decisions are coming up to be made within the next 4 or 5 months.
The when when you were paying off the old building, which helped a lot of the paying off and making that, well, trying to get within budget, was they had the night school. And that went out a long time ago, and I don't know why it didn't, because part-time nights is where, well, my sister-in-law, for example, she did it many years ago. And it worked for her as a work and be able to go here at night when my brother got home. And that's something we get away from. And I think we're leaving people out. Like, if you take what we're making, what we're charging, what we're getting, and you take all the bills, everything, including benefits, it's a red. And I think what's happening with that program is we're taking away from our own students here and going into the new school where the bills are going to be more and more faster, more everything. I don't see why we should be paying for an LPN program that's in the red when we can be using that money to pay for the extra people out there.
I think that's the discussion for another day.
What I'm getting at, Melissa, is if there's a way for you to put that together for the committee, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. I have done that before, and you know, the district picks up some of the expenditures for the LPN program. So we would look at both sides of the LPN program revolving fund itself, plus what the general fund is looking like.
I would like to see numbers. I know we've seen numbers in the past, and like you said, some of the expenditures are picked up from the district, but we've never really had an outline of that, of just where we actually sit.
Okay.
Because we've always looked at the numbers and says, okay, we're about even, but we know that there's things that we're picking up on the other side. I'd love to see a real, actual number.
Okay.
That would be great. And Mr. Chairman, on the other side of that, especially is, I know they told us we got to notify them by December 31st, but have they indicated to you how much the rent's going to go up in that building over the next
There's
year?
been no discussion and the committee's approval. I could enter into that along with Mr. Drosso. Let's talk with him.
I think,
That's why I'm suggesting, that's why a subcommittee meeting is.
Let's get a subcommittee. We're going to get a subcommittee. I've already talked to you about a date and we'll figure that out.
Maybe you want to go to the next school committee meeting.
Yeah, we'll figure. Yeah, if we can, we'll figure that out, and we'll discuss where we want to be and what our options may be at that point in time.
The very last thing I just wanted, part of my report, not in writing, but most recently we're receiving some news that we're going to go after a possible skills expansion grant, and that would allow us to put more students inside our programs. Because we are getting into a little bit bigger building, and this is going to increase some of the enrollment inside our shop areas. We don't have space, but there's money to do this. So we're looking at that. I think Jen has been speaking to Leslie about that. Is that correct, Jen?
Sure.
And then they're going to go after that. That's a possibility.
Who's the grant from?
Is it from the state? It's the same one that did skills capital grant.
Are we going to have the room to move on the academic side to be able to have be able to integrate these additional students into our academic side?
Well, we're talking a program that has, let's say, 9 students in, and that 9 goes to 11. Okay, we're not talking major things.
Okay.
So if graphic communications can fit 20 students, can they fit 22? So tiny steps, because we know that what our maximum capacity is of that building. We already know that. We have to adhere to that. But we're not talking wholesale, like, okay, we have 8, let's put 30 in there. We're saying that 8 can do 9. A student in plumbing, a student in electricity, 1 here, 1 there, just to kind of fill that spot.
Because we'll be able to go up about 20 students when we reach the new school.
Yeah, 1,500 is our capacity, as we know.
And that's what we go to the 4 communities.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to expand into some additional career pathways by branching out on our current programs.
This is a whole thing we'll be bringing back to the committee, because it's all wrapped together. An interesting package we've been under discussion, but we think you'll like it.
any questions, comments?
No, I'm sorry, I'm done. And that concludes my report.
All right.
I'll end that way.
All right, calendar of events.
Pointing out to the committee that in the month of October coming up, we do have an advisory board. The advisory board is going to be on October 3rd. Second.
October 2nd.
October 2nd. And would very much like to see the members of the committee there. I'll be in May.
Right away. I'll be there, Mr.
Thank you.
I'll be there.
As you can see, we're into the school year with different things. Do want to let you know that homecoming is also coming up in October. And it's October 24th. You're very welcome to see about 1,000 of Diamond's best students having fun
At the Venus Demo.
at Venus de Milo this year. Oh, again, yeah. Make sure Bennett lights. Venus de Milo is big. You're welcome to stop it. Or stay the night chaperone.
Good. I'll be in touch.
We're all going to Texas.
The big state.
Was there anything, man, that came in before $40? We do have a correspondence from the MASC annual conference.
Included in your packet, I just received this week, MASS and MASC joint conference. This is the one in November down at the, they're now calling it the Emerald Resort. Formerly was the Resort and Conference Center. That is there. If you're interested in going, please let us know. We'll make the arrangement.
Yes.
Please.
When did that?
Yes.
And our next school committee meeting is scheduled for October 8th. And we're going to have a reason to go on executive session.
They skipped over,
What is it?
Which one?
you skipped over an item and then you turned out to come back to the later time.
Oh,
Yeah, come back. I'll come back.
I think the cricket has public comment.
what's that?
I think the cricket has public comment.
Okay. Too late.
All right, we do have a reason to go to executive session. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Paragraph 2, conduct strategy succession, preparation for negotiation with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiation with non-personnel. Melissa Pasaccio, the Director of Finance. Need a motion to go in executive session. Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
And we will be coming back into open session.
Okay. Thank you.
There's nobody out here.
What's that?
There's not one person here.
No?
So you can go ahead.
I would go.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I got jokes. Oh, yeah. You want to come in the meeting?
We're in open session. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Jennings,
Here.
Mr. Beegan.
Yeah.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Here.
Attorney Flanagan, Mr. Manuel's,
Here.
Ms. Menard.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in the open session.
Mr. Chairman, we got to go back to 3.0 new business, 3.1 other matters, individual employment agreement. I recommend that the committee make the motion to approve the contract for Melissa Petrasso, Director of Finance, as negotiated.
Need a motion on that?
So
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's okay. Even just the attorney, I do appreciate it.
All right, need a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Good luck to you.